Alright, so George Benson, one of the best Chelsea channels out there, he has this little series of his that every day after a Chelsea match, he does a video saying the 6 things we learned on the previous match. So I thought to myself, how can I do the same with that elite content for the USMNT and make it better? So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to do 7 things that we learned from the USMNT match versus Honduras yesterday for Nations League. And if you guys like for this to become a series, comment down below and hit that like button. I'll kindly make a series. After every USMNT game, we can do 7 things we learned, at least the competitive matches, right? Maybe not the friendlies. With that said, I digested the game a little more after watching it with you guys at the live stream yesterday, so I'm going to give a couple takes here. Obviously, there's more than 7 things that we learned, but let me go through the 7 things I thought are most important. Feel free to comment down below yours, whatever you learned from that game. I would actually love to hear it because I learned from you guys as well. With that said, we're about to roll the intro and start the episode. So the first thing we learned, and it's something I'm going to talk about actually 3 players specifically on this first take. And the first one is Gio Reyna has to play central. The opportunities he created throughout the game, one he created for himself in tight spaces in the box, one he created for Christian Pulisic, always driving middle. Along with that, when he's central, he's able to draw fouls. He's dangerous. His long shots are dangerous. And Gio Reyna has to be our set piece taker. I don't know why he isn't. So that's one thing we learned. The second thing I wanted to talk about is Jackson Yueill. And yes, Jackson Yueill is one I want to talk about because every time he's under pressure, he surrenders. He loses the ball. He can't play under pressure in tight spaces. And on defense, he's not that effective. He's not good. He shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be starting for the U.S. men's national team. Now, if we played against a low block team, which to be fair, I thought Honduras was going to play a low block, very defensive and counter, Jackson Yueill could work as a deep line playmaker. But when we're playing the way we played and Honduras is attacking us, he becomes invisible. Actually, not even invisible. He becomes a liability. With that said, it's just something we always want to point out. Is it his fault for our bad performance? No, because a lot of players even perform worse than him, some of them. So I'm not going to blame Jackson Yueill for that, but his problems are always there. It's always the same issue. On this same take, one player I want to point out is Josh Sargent. And before I talk about Josh Sargent, I want to give him a round of applause for saving us from Honduras scoring. His performance was not good once again. What we learned from that is maybe it's time for Josh to sit on the bench a little bit. Have I given up on Josh Sargent? Absolutely not. But maybe it's time to start Jordan Ciabachu, give Daryl DK later on an opportunity, maybe against the Costa Rica game, which is a friendly and Daryl DK might be available. It's time to maybe bench Josh Sargent, but not give up on him. Take number 2 is the mentality of this team worries me. And why does it worry me? It worries me because it's just not good. The team seems mentally frail. It just doesn't seem too good. Now, on the other hand, the average age of the team that started yesterday was 23 years old in 259 days. So it's a very young team. The mentality can change and improve, but this team doesn't seem to have that fire in them, a dog in the field, someone, you guys know what I mean. Right? So we need to have that. Maybe even leadership in the field. All of that, I didn't see it. And that worries me. That's something that I learned in this match. And I think you guys noticed it as well. Can that change over the years? Yes. The team is very young. But it's just something that's worrying me, at least in the short term. And at least for the game Sunday versus Mexico. The third thing we learned in this game is that the tactical structure of this team is a mess. The team yesterday looked like the second half team against Switzerland. I mean, look at this play for Serginho Dest. Lozano, what was Dest doing? What was Dest doing in this play? Was the defensive line too high? Was Dest too deep? Is it Brooks and McKenzie's fault? I don't know. Berhalter needs to address the team. What are his instructions? Lozano ended up getting an opportunity one-on-one, and Zach Steffen had to save us. And we saw that against Switzerland twice as well with Ebola. Along with that, there's many issues. It seems like every single counter we get, it's always dangerous. We're never well structured. I don't know, sometimes the team presses, sometimes we don't. It doesn't seem like there's a set structure and philosophy implemented by Greg Berhalter. It's quite noticeable actually at this point, and no tactical variation. So that's something we learned, and hopefully Berhalter does address it. He hasn't so far, and he seemed in his press conference to be okay with it, but that worries me as well. And I'm sorry guys if I'm being very negative right now, because at the end of the day we did win, and I'll take the W, and I'm happy for the United States, and I'm proud of the fight a lot of the players put in. But we need to point out these problems that we learned. There's positives to go through as well, like Gio Reyna take was positive. But let's keep going the video. Let's go to the next thing that we learned at United States 1, Honduras 0. The fifth thing we learned here is Honduras wasted a lot of time when the result of the game was what they wanted. So they wanted to drag it to the penalty shootouts, and they were wasting time, and they were annoying the US men's national team and getting in our heads, and we were nervous. When we scored that goal of Siabachu, the US men's national team needs to learn to do the same. So we scored a goal of Siabachu. Someone should drop and pretend they're cramping. Learn to do that. I know it's annoying. I know it pisses off fans. But if that's what it takes to win in CONCACAF, and teams are going to do it against us, we should be doing the same. Learn to waste time. Learn to annoy the opponent. It seems like at times we respect opponents a little bit too much while they don't respect us. That's one of the thoughts. And that one thing we learned is maybe the US men's national team doesn't have what it takes to do that. It's okay. It's okay. When we play the big teams, European teams and everything, they won't be doing that with us. But we got to do it in CONCACAF. The fourth thing we learned, and this is something that worries me as well, and sorry if I'm once again being negative here, but look, it seemed like Berhalter didn't know what to do. So why did he hesitate to make subs for so long in the game, right? The game was 0-0, we weren't playing well, things weren't working. He has good options off the bench. He has Tim Weah, he has Brendan Harrison, Yunus Musa, many different options off the bench. Siabachu that scored as well, and even props to Berhalter for that. But why did he take so long? And to me, that just shows a coach that's hesitant to make changes because he doesn't really know what to do. That's the feeling I got in this game. Along with that, we do see him not getting the best out of the players and trying to force a system that doesn't work for certain specific players. Against Northern Ireland, he tried a 3-4-2-1 formation, and Pulisic was fantastic. And after that, he never tried it again. Against Jamaica, Pulisic was terrible with the 4-3-3, and we saw him being terrible again today in the same system. So maybe the system doesn't work for him. Just figure it out. Along with that, Weston McKennie needs a different midfield. This midfield doesn't work for him. He needs a creative midfield so he can roam around and do his thing. That's why Weston McKennie has been so bad. He's not a bad player. Now, is Sebastian Lletget a bad player? No, but he's not a creative player either. So I just don't see Berhalter being able to maximize the talent pool of this specific team. Will this change? Yes, and this is one game right there that I'm talking about, but the issues are ongoing. We've seen these issues before. We've seen it against Switzerland as well. Will he be able to do it? Hopefully. I'm still cheering for Berhalter, obviously, because I know we're going to go with him all the way till 2022 World Cup. So he does need to figure that out. I want to see tactical variations. I want to see some different elements in this team. All right, the sixth thing we learned is sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And yes, we weren't good, but we were lucky. We found a goal at the end. We had Zach Steffen save us. We had Josh Sargent save us from allowing a goal as well. But we got lucky. We found a goal and we win. Obviously, we have more quality than Honduras, but we didn't really show that throughout the game. But the sixth thing we learned is that you better be lucky than good. Last but not least, the last thing we learned in this game is the US men's national team does not know how to take advantage of its set pieces. Yes, we once again did not see us score off a set piece. We didn't even see us be very dangerous off set pieces. The only time we were kind of dangerous was a corner taken by Sebastian Lletget in the first half where Weston McKennie wasn't able to head it in. But we haven't been able to take advantage of our set pieces. We don't shoot them on goal. The crosses are not dangerous. Is that Berhalter's fault? It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of the players, a little bit of Berhalter. We need to figure that out. Team has to be dangerous with set pieces if you want to be a winning team. It's a very important aspect to add to a team and to its strategy. So that's something I'd like to improve as well. But so far, the US men's national team has not been good with set pieces under Berhalter, actually, in general. With all of that said, guys, I'll kindly ask you to hit that like button, please, if you enjoy this type of content, and comment down below, what did you learn from the United States 1, Honduras 0, and we're going to be playing Mexico this Sunday. We're going to be doing a live watch along, and if you guys enjoy this type of content, I can do on Monday a video just like this one, following up the game, a couple things we learned, just to discuss with you guys. All right, I want to thank you all for watching very much. The support has been amazing. I love the live stream. We had 1,000 people, which was completely insane. I love you guys very much. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have a great day.